I'm going to walk you through 3 different mission controls that can power your OpenClaw. Each of them have different features and capabilities, but one thing remains true, that if you implement these in your life and business, it will have substantial impacts on your entire productivity. Not only will you be able to save more time, but you'll be able to make more money if you can leverage these tools powered by your own OpenClaw. We are going to start with the easiest and most basic mission control and work our way up to the very end, where I'll show you the most complex mission control if you want the full capabilities and impact that this can have for you. And if you stay till the end of this video, I'm even going to rebuild one of these mission controls to show you exactly step by step on how I would go about replicating this for yourself. A couple weeks ago, I recorded a similar video that I'll link in the description that was essentially how I built my own Klug bot in OpenClaw to work for me and my business. And we'll start with probably the most basic one here. This is by Kathryn, as you can see. And what you can see really nicely is Friend Center. They have a few different agent avatars. And so you can see they have a chief of staff. And this seems to be a consistent thing. Chief of staff tends to be used for the kind of ultimate OpenClaw. So this is the OpenClaw that you're going to be communicating with, and that kind of runs the rest of the sub agents. And I'll kind of talk a bit more about that. But you can see a really interesting and clean design here. They're kind of going for the Claude UI look. But this focus here seems to be around spinning up your own sub agents. And what a sub agent is essentially while your main OpenClaw is going and doing the tasks and communicating with you, you can have sub agents spun up in the background that can go do tasks while you're working and while you're communicating. And so allowing you to actually control and seeing your different sub agents, as you can see, they have one for analytics, they have one for content, they have one for a Shopify developer, one for React. So you can see here that they have different conversations with each agent. And this is controlled all through their mission control. You can make sure that everything's running smoothly. And so all this stuff wouldn't be possible natively through OpenClaw. You know, trying to manage this in Slack or Notion would be very challenging. And so this user here has done a great job of building their own tool to manage different agents in their mission control. It looks like they also have an activity log, which I don't think they've included a screenshot of, and then also the tasks. You can also see here they have the chat, decisions, cron, and cost for each agent, which I think is really interesting because basically what this means is chat is pretty basic. That's how you're communicating with the agent. Decisions are the decisions that probably require the user's input. Crons are basically the repetitive tasks that each agent is designated to, and then obviously the cost. And so you're able to basically see the breakdown of each agent's costs and then compare that to the total cost of all your different models and agents. So I think this is a great first one to replicate. It's pretty simple. It's mainly based on spinning up sub agents. And so this may not be applicable to everybody, but if this is something you're looking to do, I think this is a really great use case for a mission control. Okay, next we are going to take a look at this mission control, which has actually been going semi-viral. I've been seeing it quite a lot, and I also saw they did a breakdown video of this mission control, which I can link in the description. But essentially, this one, as you can see, quite a bit more complex. It's front and center. They have kind of the tasks that the OpenClaw is intended to do. You have different tagging mechanisms. You can track the progress. You can see how many agents are live. Similarly, they also have the different agent breakdowns, and so same kind of idea as the first one. You can see the different agents that are doing which tasks, and you can see that you're able to filter by the different agents, which is super cool. And so I think this is similar use case. I think UI is a little bit more task focused on this one, where the other one is a little bit more broken out. And it looks like they've actually gone ahead and actually productized this mission control. And so if you wanted to actually use this exact one, you could, and I'll include that link in the description. Starts at $99 a month. It also includes some of the agents as well. So you can go ahead and have these preset agents, which, you know, it could be handy, but ultimately you can probably do this pretty easily yourself. And you can see there's a whole setup to how to connect your bot, how to create different prompts and provisions, how to create your different settings and guidelines. And you also have the live activity feed here, as you can see. So you can see which agents are getting things done at what time. And so this is really when things become a lot more powerful, right? You go from just a single chat interface like Slack to all of a sudden now you have different agents completing different tasks throughout the day. And you can see it all here right on your live feed. So I think that's super great. You can also check the memory, the docs, the chat, all this stuff right in your own mission control. Here you can also see the activity details of each task. So it looks like you can click in here and you can see the activity details for that sub agent. So similarly, you can kind of probably comment and leave comments for each task and for each agent, which is very cool. And here it looks like an expanded view of that task details. And so you can kind of see the agent and the human communicating and going through the different details of each task. So again, this gets way more specific and right down to the point rather than having to kind of backtrack into different Slack threads or whatever. This gives you one detailed kind of view of that task in the comments that are required. Okay, last but not least, we have the king of OpenClaw right now, Alex Finn. Now his mission control is very built out and it highlights a lot of different use cases. So we'll start first here with the meet the team. For some reason, he has this kind of mission statement, which I think he believes that will make the agents know what mission they're working towards, which is debatably something that you could have. But again, here he has the main chief of staff agent, followed by some of the sub agents that are spun out of it, as well as the ability to pause them, to ping them, and to refresh it. But what Alex has done really nicely is he's actually broken this out a lot more in this article, which I can link below. So first off, we have the task board. So you can see these different tasks are assigned to different agents. You can see, I think, by the letters. So Henry is being his main bot, and then I guess ones that A could be for Alex, so those could be his tasks. But ultimately, this is kind of the all-in-one task board for him and his agents, which is really cool. Moving over to content, obviously he has a massive content pipeline, and so this is something that I could see a lot of content creators doing, which is having their own content pipeline. Ultimately, you can actually have OpenClaw manage this and create content for you, right? So I've talked about in the past that I now use my OpenClaw in order to create me written content. I feed it my YouTube video and it's able to spun out a bunch of different content. And so I could see a content pipeline like this making a lot of sense. So this is his cron job calendar, which I actually haven't seen before. But essentially what this does is it shows like different cron jobs he's running and the scheduled time that they're going to run. You can see each day what the different tasks are that the OpenClaw is going to run. Here he has his daily journal. This is something that I've actually done. Right now I run this through Notion, but I do have plans on building my own here. You can see each day OpenClaw will log different things in order to keep track of memory, because this is one of probably the weakest points of OpenClaw right now, is just being able to remember things. And so having this kind of memory day-by-day journal is a really useful thing, and being able to view the journal every day is also useful. And then kind of back to the My Team thing, you can see here where he has all the different agents. It looks like he has a coding agent which uses Codex, so that's really cool. And then finally, it looks like he has built his own office. Now I couldn't tell you necessarily what the purpose of this is beyond just a cool interface, but I think the idea here is being able to see which agents are working. So now we're going to rebuild one of these mission controls in Lovable. Now the reason I like to build this in Lovable is because I find that one, it's a lot more expensive to use OpenClaw and credits burns a lot quicker. Two, the design is a way less polished. And three, with Lovable we have full control of hosting, visibility, all the database infrastructure that's required, and so it makes it a lot easier to get this up and running. I'm going to feed the article here to my OpenClaw, and I'm going to say, based on this article, generate a prompt for Lovable to recreate this mission control dashboard. Okay, so OpenClaw fed me this prompt here. Okay, so we're going to take this, we're going to copy this, I'll bring this into Lovable. And the reason I want to use Lovable is because of exactly this reason. Literally, I'm going to be able to have my own dashboard in probably just a few prompts. That first prompt is really going to set the foundation. Now, if you want to understand how to actually connect your OpenClaw to your Lovable app, I've already done a video on this and I'll link it down below. But essentially, you just use the Superbase API and connect it to your OpenClaw. That way they can communicate back and forth. Okay, so after a couple minutes here, we have our first version. And you can see it's already looking very nice. And this is exactly the reason I love using Lovable, is because in one shot, I'm able to get this really clean looking dashboard with all these different pages. This is looking phenomenal. I actually can't lie. So let's go through this. The dashboard basically has kind of a recap of what's in the tasks, what's in the content, what's in the upcoming events, agent activity, etc. You're able to click into each and see the different team members, which is really nice as well. Now, as for activity log, I could see the activity log. Obviously, all this is dummy data, so I don't want people in the comments. I know, but again, if you want to connect this, I had a video demonstrating exactly how to connect this to your OpenClaw that we shot a couple weeks ago. We'll link that in the comments or put it up here. But here you can see the upcoming, what's upcoming. So you could probably make this your upcoming cron jobs, maybe some calls, maybe content that needs to think about. So this is really nice. You have your tasks. This will be, you can tag this by agency, content, education, personal. This is really nice. You can see that it's marked Astra or you. So in my case, you can see the tasks that are marked for me versus my agent. Content, we can see ideas, scripting, thumbnails, all that. Probably even, okay, we haven't gotten that far, but hypothetically, you could probably build out a nice little details view. This is the calendar. So you could probably see, again, all the cron jobs and tasks that are due. Memory, we have our daily memory. Again, this is all in one prompt, so you can't expect it to have every single detailed page, but again, you easily just be able to click and create like a page where you can actually edit this and view it. Same with team. You can see that we have Astra as our chief of staff, and then we can create these other sub-agents here as well. I'm sure you can also add a button to be able to add these things. Contacts, these would be other people on each team, so it knows who to reference. In my case, I actually connected it to my Slack, and so you can actually go and message those people directly, which is really cool. And then lastly, again, you have your settings. You can see what it's connected to, agent configuration, cron jobs. This is honestly really good. Honestly, I'm probably going to use this as my actual mission control after seeing how good this was just in one prompt. I'm honestly really impressed. And I'll make sure to leave the exact prompt I used in case you want to replicate this one for one in Lovable. I'll also leave a link in the description for getting 20% off your first month. That way you can build this, host on Superbase super easy, and then eventually, connect it to a domain. All this to say, these are the different mission controls that you can build. Obviously, we saw some of the more basic versions, we saw some kind of intermediate, and lastly, we saw a more advanced mission control. And then I showed you exactly how to rebuild this. And so if you enjoyed this, I would much appreciate you hit the subscribe button and like for future videos. I'll be posting once a week. And if you're a serious builder and you're really looking to take advantage of the AI movement, the movement of being able to use AI in order to make money for you hand over fist, just like I have been able to do running the #1 lovable agency in the world, I have a small community now of select builders where I'm teaching all the steps that I've learned in the process. And if you want that, the link will be the first in the description. With all that being said, we'll see you on the next video. Cheers.